When you live in a neighborhood governed by an HOA, you learn quickly that bright is a four-letter word. At least that's how Karen treats it. Karen, our HOA's self-appointed aesthetics czar, has an eye sharper than a hawk and a heart colder than our January nights. If she doesn't approve of something, she'll find a way to make it disappear, or at least force you to apologize to your plants. My pool, a centerpiece of my backyard oasis, became her latest target. It all began with new LED pool lights I installed last summer. I didn't want the usual bland white glow. Instead, I chose a vibrant, customizable neon setup that could change colors: electric blues, greens, hot pinks, the works. It was beautiful, a splash of modern art in the dark. For a few weeks, my backyard was the place to be. Neighbors stopped by in the evenings just to admire the glowing water, kids squealed with delight, and even the local ice cream truck started hanging around a little longer. Then the complaint came. A sharply worded letter, stamped by the HOA and personally signed by Karen, arrived in my mailbox. Your pool lighting is excessively bright and disruptive to the neighborhood's evening ambience. It adversely affects adjacent properties and violates Section 4.1 of the Community Lighting Guidelines. Immediate dimming or removal is required. I checked the guidelines myself. There was no explicit rule about neon lights, or the colors I chose. The rule was vague and, frankly, seemed tailor-made to target my pool. I called Karen. Karen, it's just some pool lights. They're LED, energy efficient, and programmable. I can dim them. She replied, it's not about energy. It's about harmony. Your lights disturb my evenings, my sleep. So I did the logical thing. I kept the lights on. But here's the twist. I aimed them. Right. Address, her, house. I installed a set of adjustable neon spotlights, synchronized with the pool lights, that projected soft, colorful beams onto her front yard and windows. Blues and purples washed over her garden gnomes. Pink and green splashed across her curtains. The effect was dazzling but harmless. And of course, I made sure the lights were on a timer, only from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., when Karen was most likely to be home and awake. The first evening after installation, I watched from my back porch as Karen stepped outside, coffee cup in hand, and squinted suspiciously at the colorful glow invading her sanctuary. She stomped over to my fence, shouting, "What is this? Stop pointing those lights at my house." I smiled and waved. It's just pool ambiance and a little community light show. The next day, the HOA sent another letter. Your lighting setup constitutes a nuisance. You are hereby ordered to cease and desist immediately. That's when the neighborhood started to take sides. Some neighbors loved the lights, complaining that Karen's constant policing made the neighborhood dull and lifeless. Others thought it was childish. But one thing was clear. I had turned my backyard into a nightly event. Neighbors would come by after dinner, wine glasses in hand, to watch the light show, sometimes with music. We even organized a little block party with synchronized neon lights, dance moves, and snacks. Karen was furious but had no legal ground to stop it. Eventually, the HOA softened their stance. They asked me to install a dimmer and agreed on a strict off time at 10 p.m. Karen never forgave me, but I like to think I brought a little color and a lot of fun into the neighborhood.